Welcome back to the Angry Man Podcast with Jason and Greg. So, Jay, yesterday it was announced that Turki Alalshikh and Riyadh Season, they are joining forces with Oscar De La Hoya and Top Rank. They entered into partnership agreements where I know at least on Top Rank side, they're going to, what do they say, sponsor, if I'm not mistaken, that was the word that they used, 12 of their fights from now all the way through 2025. And with Golden Boy, I know they're going to start. They're going to start Golden Boy, I think, with Virgil Ortiz and Boychuk. So now Turki Alalshikh has partnership agreements with Top Rank, Golden Boy, and Matchroom. The only other major player out there, Jay, I would say is PBC. Now we know they've done some work here with PBC. I believe they have PBC fighters on the August 3rd card. So they have done some work with PBC, and the question that remains, and I know a lot of people in the Discord have been talking about this, but is this the first phase in terms of Turki Alalshikh and Riyadh Season taking over boxing, or is this a situation where PBC might be resistant to this? Now, I can see well, I don't know if it's going to be the first step of his takeover. Let me say that to begin with, because these are just partnership agreements for now. So I don't know if this is the first phase. He may get into this and realize that maybe boxing isn't all that profitable. And regardless of what Saudi Arabia's desire is, which is to be the entertainment capital of the world, there may be more lucrative ways in doing that, right? So I would not be surprised if they discontinue. Maybe this is their first step in terms of putting their toe in the water to see if they even want to remain in boxing. I don't know. But when I think about Al Haymon and the fact that, you know, they recently had a couple of people on that card, the card is coming, or they have a couple of people on that card. I was told by someone that there were people at PBC that were not happy with the fact that they had people on the Riyadh card. That's what I was told. How true that is, don't know, but that's what I was told. And if that's the case, though, Jay, maybe there would be some resistance to it. Now, we know that PBC, they have to fill all those slots for Amazon. Yeah. So they can't afford, in my mind, maybe I'm wrong about this, but they can't afford to have their fighters on all these different other platforms, because you got a number of different cards that you're going to have to fill and put fights on yourself to fulfill your obligation to Amazon. So when I think about that, I'm like, how interested would Al Haymon be in really getting involved with this? But if Turki Alalshikh is going to do what he's doing for Top Rank and actually sponsor, and I'm assuming sponsor means pay for the purses associated with the fighters. If that's going to be the case, then maybe Al Haymon would be interested in getting involved with this, because that's going to allow him to have more fight cards on Amazon. And but does Amazon want any association with Riyadh Season? I don't know how all this would work, right? So it's interesting, you know, to see how this might all develop. Maybe PBC goes down that path. Maybe PBC doesn't. I see reasons why they might. I see reasons why they might not. Now, the last thing I want to say about this, Jay, and I want to pass it on to you. A lot of people have been ecstatic about this. They're happy about it. They feel like boxing is corrupt, boxing is broken, so forth and so on. And they need one entity to come in. And we did a video yesterday and we said, you know, we're seeing some similar things from Turki Alalshikh that we've seen from the promoters, right? But the thing about this is a sign that boxing is in bad shape, because if it was financially viable on its own, I won't say not, that's maybe too strong of a word. It's not as financially viable as it was in the past. And because of that, these promoters are more willing to get involved with Turki Alalshikh. If it was more financially viable, then maybe they wouldn't be interested in being in business with Turki Alalshikh. So boxing is probably not in the best shape. Now, many of them will argue that that's because of, you know, boxing and what they've done in the past. Maybe so. But the fact remains that it's not in the best shape, and this is an indicator that it's not in the best shape. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think it really depends on how much money Turkey's going to pony up. It really is for PBC to really get into that. They have a slew of talent out there that hasn't had a fight yet. They were supposed to have a card starting on August 17th, but I believe that's been delayed due to Caleb Plant's opponent being injured in training. So that's going to push them back even further back. And it's only it'll be less than 3 months left for them to get all their talent some type of fights this year. That's going to have been a knock against PBC and Al Haymon, that their fighters aren't fighting often enough. Regardless of what the reason may be, whether they were in accidents or anything else outside of the ring, but they still blame PBC and Al Haymon for that happening. Anyway, so I mean, I think they'll have to definitely fork the bill on some of that on there. It's funny that people are really happy about Turkey being involved, but he's essentially almost taken over, which they were afraid that PBC and Al was going to do, for one entity to take over. I find that kind of funny that people are okay with this, but weren't okay with it beforehand. But we'll see what comes of it. I think PBC will come along because they already have fighters on this current card on August 3rd. And someone like Pitbull Cruz was fighting on it. Tim Zoo was slated to fight on it. There was a PBC fighters. So I think it'll be a little dibble or dabble, but I don't think they're going to just completely give in to going over and let them run the show. It's an entity outside of the states that's going to be running U.S. boxing. It's kind of interesting to see that people are just so okay with that, but they weren't okay with the entity actually in the states trying to do the same thing. But we'll see. Time will tell. I am happy for more fights to be happening, but I can't fully get on board with just one entity really controlling it in full. I want to have it separate, but I want them to put some safeguards in place where they have to work together to make these fights. They just can't be saying, no, we're just going to keep doing everything in-house. And this is all promotional companies that do that. All of them do the in-house stuff. So don't say it's just PBC, folks. It's all of them that do it. We saw Golden Boy specifically saying that Shakur can only fight Zepeda if he signs with Golden Boy. So that's an in-house fight that will be there. But we'll see what PBC does. Al is very smart, dude. Very smart dude, the way he runs it. He gets all the criticism for a guy that no one ever sees or really hears from. I've never seen that much criticism for someone like that, but we'll see. I think they will, just so they can get those guys, that talent, some fights this year. Then next year, we'll see how things change.
Yeah, we'll see how it ends up going. I mean, it's an interesting thing. I don't. Let me clarify this. I won't say that he's actually running U.S. boxing. At least in this particular situation, you may be talking about what the future might look like, or what people had desired the future would look like. But right now, these are just kind of partnership agreements where they're sponsoring. It sounds like the promoters are still in charge of actually running it. So we'll see. All right. Well, you guys tell us what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hate, like, comment, and subscribe. This is the Angry Man Podcast, AM Sports Media, and we are out.